What's going on there, YouTube? Vaping with Twisted420 has returned. And today we got some complicated shit to show you folks and a nice mod. Today we're going to take a look at the Vaporshark rDNA40 and the temperature control stuff with the DNA40. We're going to look into that to an extent. Talk about that a little bit. Alright? So without further ado, let's take a look at it. Alright folks, and we are back. We are back once again, and we got something interesting today, folks. I've known about the Vaporshark stuff for a while, but I've never owned any of it, played with any of it. Well, I was at Vape Summit in Houston, and I'm walking along, I saw Vaporshark set up. I was like, oh, that looks dope as fuck. They had a badass booth up there at Vape Summit. So I went over there and started talking. This dude's like, hey man, it was one of the guys, I can't remember your name, I'm sorry, I don't remember your name. But he's like, hey man, our CEO, Brandon, wants to talk to you when you get a chance. I was like, oh, cool, all right. I didn't even know Vaporshark knew who the fuck I was. You know what I mean? I was like, what the hell is this? So I went over there and talked to the CEO, Brandon, super nice guy. And he was super cool. And he handed me one of these. This is my first DNA40 device. I'd been hearing about the DNA40, about all the hype. I've also heard about some of the bad stuff with the chip. A lot of people have had trouble with the chip and like Vapor Flask, all kinds of other devices, including this one. Only issue I've had with this one, it's been pretty good for the most part. I have had one issue with it. I was vaping a billow at 30 watts. I'd sit it, and this only happened for like a few days, like 3 or 4 days one week. I'd sit it down, vaping at 30 watts, sit it down, go pick it back up, start vaping. Like, oh, what the hell? Look down, it set itself to 40 watts. Didn't understand it. It was random. That's the only issue I've had, but I've heard of much worse issues with this DNA40 chip. A lot of people having issues. I know Matt Cully over there, Suck My Mod, had a bunch of issues. A bunch of people been having issues with their DNA40 chips, having to send their mods in and get them fixed up. But it's interesting concept. Okay, so let me try to explain this the best I can. I'm not a super technical person, but I'll tell you what I got. The DNA40 chip, you can just do 7 to 40 watts normal and vape, but also has this temperature sensing thing that you got to use pure nickel wire to make it work. The pure nickel wire has almost no resistance. I know I did like my first man, that pure nickel wire is a pain in my dick, let me tell you. That shit's so hard to work. I ordered some 30 gauge. Maybe I should have ordered a little bit lower, but if I would have ordered lower, the shit has almost no resistance. I did like 13 wraps of 30 gauge and got like a 0.18 or it was something stupid low, 0.13 after 13 wraps. Shit's crazy. And I hate using it. It's so soft and bendy, and I fucking hate nickel wire. I hate it. I wish there was another way for the temperature sensing shit to work. Anyway, I digress. I'm getting too far off track. This mod, what it can do is, if you set it up with nickel wire on anything, I've set up Limo, a few other devices with it. What it can do is, it senses the nickel wire, and it can operate between 200 degrees Fahrenheit and 600 degrees Fahrenheit. I currently have this guy at 600 degrees Fahrenheit and at 40 watts. Now here's the thing. Whenever you set the temperature to, it will try to get to that temperature but not go over it. And it'll let you know if it gets too hot. It'll give you a little warning. You've overreached temperature or whatever. But you can still control the power of it too simultaneously. I know it sounds kind of confusing, but you can do temperature control and power control. Like if I vape this thing at 20 watts and set to 600 degrees Fahrenheit, it'll be pretty good. But if I bump it up to 40 watts at 600 degrees Fahrenheit, it'll be even rowdier. That makes sense? It's kind of confusing, I know. But that's what I'm vaping it at right now. 600 degrees Fahrenheit at 40 watts. I got a 0.10 coil on it. 0.1. This is a 0.1 build, dual coil. And I did like 15 wraps per coil. And that's what it came out to, 0.1. So yeah. What's really cool about this, what I've taken away from the whole temperature control thing is no dry hits, no burnt hits, and if you're using a dripper, you can run that bitch bone dry and still not get a burnt hit. It's fucking crazy. Like right now, I'll let you see how wet that is. Hopefully my camera will focus. It will not. But I'm gonna vape this thing dry real quick. And then after that, we'll go up close and I'll show you how dry it was while I'm hitting it. It's pretty fucking mind blowing. That's what gets me. It's pretty cool. Now, at 600 degrees and 40 watts, Once you get it real dry, it'll let you know. But if I had it set to about 500 degrees Fahrenheit at 40 watts, and this bitch, you don't get a burn hit, you just start to lose flavor. It's crazy. You never have to worry about a dry hit again. That's the beautiful, that's my takeaway from the DNA40 and the temperature sensing. I think it's awesome. And it can still get pretty rowdy. All right. Yeah, this shit's dry. Like, you know when the cotton gets so dry, you can see like white spots and stuff, like it's seriously drying? That's what's happening here. And I'm going to vape it, and then I'll show you what it looks like when we dive up close. Last time I dripped this thing was right before we went up close. What the fuck am I talking about? Last time I dripped this thing is right before I started filming, okay? This thing's so fucking dry right now. You can probably see that a little bit. It's super duper duper dry. No burn hits. That's my favorite thing thus far about this chip. Anyway, that's really cool. Besides that, the device is awesome. I like how small it is. I've been using the fuck out of it. I really have. And the screen's on the bottom. It's kind of like an old school pager. Beep, beep, beep. Oh shit, bitch texting me 911. I need to see what's up. You know what I mean? That type of shit. Throwback to the 90s a little bit. But I like the device. Removable 18650. It does wireless charging. I didn't get a wireless charger from Vaporshark because they were out at Vape Summit. But I ordered one off eBay, just a generic one, and it works fine. You just, this side right here, lay it on there, charges your shit. But you also have the option to pop this off, held on with magnets, pull the string, get your battery out, bada bing. And they came with LG HE2s. I love those batteries. I think it was smart that they packaged them in. Pretty cool shit. I'm gonna have another toke while this bitch is bone dry. Okay, now, without bullshitting too much longer, we're gonna go ahead and dive up. Oh, fuck me, I always forget shit. We also, Vaporshark sent me coils for the Aspire Nautilus. They make temperature sensing coils, nickel wire coils. And I've been using them in the Silo and the Nautilus Mini. Work great. Same thing, no burnt hits, great flavor, no dry hits, everything's great. And they also sent Pro Tank coils, the newer Pro Tanks like the Megas and everything. They sent coils for those with the pure nickel wire. I'll show you all that when we dive up close. But now let's dive up close so I can show you how dry this is. We can take a look at everything and figure this shit out. It's probably gonna be a long video, people. But let's dive up close. All right, folks, we got a lot of goodies here. First, let me show you the packaging here. Oh, one thing to know about this chip, using the nickel wire, the lowest it'll fire down to is 0.1. Using standard wire, the lowest it will fire down to is 0.16. So yeah, the new DNA40 chip's pretty respectable in that regard. Let me show you the packaging. They give you all the info over here. Built-in wireless, micro USB charging, self-adjusting 510. Comes with the LG HE2, 40 watts of power, temperature sensing and limiting. And then tells you how to use the DNA chip over here. All that good stuff. Pretty sweet. And nice little package. I think that was pretty nice. And you get a little micro USB cable in the back. Pretty sweet. Yeah, you got several ways to charge this thing. Get back in there. There we go. A couple of things before we look at the device. This is my nickel wire that I ordered, atomizerwick.com. I just went on eBay and searched pure nickel wire. Ordered 50 foot of 30 gauge. This fucking wire, let me tell you, is a pain in my dick. I really do not enjoy using it. Here it is. I'm gonna pull some off here real quick. And the shit is so soft. It's so soft and so hard to work with. Like if you try to touch on your coils and get them right, the shit, I'll destroy it. Man, I swear I went through like 5 or 6 builds with this shit before I did anything. Let me just grab, damn it, where's my screwdriver? Let me just grab a screwdriver and show you real quick. I'm just gonna wrap a coil real quick. Actually, this isn't the screwdriver. It's up. Wait, where the fuck is my screwdriver? I know it's up here. Son of a bitch, where did it go? Oh well, this'll work. I'm gonna grab this. Oh damn it, I already started wrapping a coil. Anyway, I'm just gonna grab it and show you something real quick. Let's say, Okay, cool, that's fine. Scrunch it together. Yeah, this shit here is so soft, man. It's so soft, and the coils, like you start to tweak on them, it fucks up. I do not like nickel wire, but I have used it to success. I have made it work. It's just kind of a pain in the ass, okay? And that's what you need to know about this shit. I did build dual coils on here. They look janky as fuck because I couldn't tweak them the way I wanted. But yeah, nickel wire. Let me show you this real quick. This is pretty cool. Vaporshark, Kangertech, temperature sensing coils, dual coils. I'm gonna show you something real quick on these guys. I've used one of them. They're pretty neat. What they do to differentiate them from the regular coils, see that little blue O-ring down there? That little blue insulator? That's how you know they're temperature sensing coils. But other than that, they look like regular Kanger coils, but they do temperature sensing. They got nickel wire in there. That's pretty sweet. These are all from Vaporshark. And then you got Nautilus BVC coils. As you can see, I've used one. Still using one actually. They've lasted quite some time. I guess since they're not getting burnt up so easy, they last a while. You see the blue O-ring on there as well. Everything else looks exactly the same though, but they did that blue so like if shops start stocking everything, they'll know the difference between regular coils and these coils. Do not use nickel wire on regular just like mech mods or any other regulated devices. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't like it. It works with this temperature sensing shit. So do not mistakenly use these in your regular tanks on regular devices. Or you can use them on your regular. You get what the fuck I'm saying. That's all good. Anyway, so there's that. That's cool that they Vaporshark went to those manufacturers and got that option. Pretty sweet shit. Now here is the Vaporshark rDNA40. And it's pretty sweet. And my bad on the watt increment earlier. It goes from 1 watt to 40 watts. So this thing has step down, all kinds of stuff. They did a lot of good things with the new chip. Yeah, fire button here, up and down buttons here, and this thing is so comfortable to hold. I like to hold it and hit the button. You know what I mean? Oh, and I'll get to that in a minute. I'm all over the place, damn ADD. Micro USB charging right here. This is the wireless charging section. Just lay that on the inductive pad, the Q pad, whatever the hell. Pop this off. You got a magnet here that holds the door on, really nice. It's been a treat. Pull that out. Bada bing, bada boom. I've actually had some juice leak in here. That's why the label's kind of skewed. And then you got plus down here, negative up there. Just make sure to put your battery in right. Let me put that ribbon back in there. And yeah, pretty simple little device. I really like this guy. I do. I didn't know what all the fuss was about before, but I really like it. It's such a small little device. Where's my eye stick? I should bring it in for comparison. I got some. It's a small device. All right, Vaporshark's really, really small. Right here, you got a spring-loaded 510. And then you got some little airflow cutout going crisscross. But yes, it is indeed spring loaded. Let me grab something. Yeah. Yep, spring loaded 510, which is awesome. And let me show you how dry this fucking cotton is, and then I'll show you how to work the temperature control. All right, I'm using the Troll RDA by Wodofo A-Mod. Oh, son of a bitch. I'm knocking shit over. Now, take a look at this shit, y'all. This is how dry that bitch was while I was hitting it a minute ago. I'm talking completely dry. Look how janky my coils are. That's that nickel wire though, yo. That nickel wire is a pain in my dick. What I usually do is build my coils, turn off the temperature sensing control, set it to about 8 watts, and kind of heat up the coils. You don't see them glow red hot. That's what throws you off. And then I pinch them a little, set it back to temperature control, put my wick in, and vape it. Yeah, this stuff's different. And the cool thing is you can have cotton in here, dry, set to 40 watts, 600 degrees Fahrenheit, and it won't burn the cotton. It'll maybe singe it a little, but it won't burn it. It won't catch on fire. It's fucking nuts. Like, look how dry this shit is. I'm gonna fire it. No issues. No issues. It's crazy. It's crazy. That shit's bone dry. I could probably hit it right now. That's my favorite thing about the DNA40 so far. No burnt or dry hits. That's awesome. I mean, that shit's dry. But for the sake of vaping, I'm going to go ahead and put some more juice on here. I'm using my distortion from my Not Too Shabby line. Absolutely love that shit. Red Bull Iced Tea Lemonade. Awesome. Go Go ahead and wet her back up. Bring some life back into this cotton. Cotton. There we go. And there we go. Nice and juiced up again. A little bit of a boil. But yeah, I like this guy. I like this temperature stuff. I just don't like that fucking wire. I despise that wire. Get back on there, motherfucker. All right, now everything's still the same here. You can still do stealth mode, lefty, righty, all that stuff. 5 clicks to lock it. Now it's locked. Every time I try to do anything, it's locked. Now, if you want to get into the temperature sensing, what you do is hold the plus and negative buttons. Hold to change temp. All right, if you go above 600 degrees, it turns temperature control off. And you can go down to 200 degrees Fahrenheit. It's reading a 0.15 now, no shit. Oh, damn it, why did I do that? I just wanted to fire it to see if it would correct the ohm load. Bump it back up. Like I said, I'm rocking at 600 degrees. And you got to kind of find your sweet spot when it comes to this chip. I was vaping at around 530 degrees Fahrenheit, sometimes around 450. It just depends on what addy and what you're trying to do. Like with my Limo and like K-Fun type tanks, I usually vape it at around 450 or 500. That's just the sweet spot for me on my temperature controlling. But damn it, did I set it back to 600? No, it's at 570. There we go. 600 degrees. Cool. Now I can unlock it. And you see all the information it's giving you. You still got your battery bar, just like old school stuff. And see, it's climbing up to that temperature to reach it. Once it reaches it, it'll let you know that, hey, I'm overheated, bro. Temperature limit has been reached. I'm just cooking that bitch. No issue. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Now, speaking of this device, I'm not the easiest guy on devices, but as you can see, there's a bit of wear. I like how they got a little spot right there to grip for your thumb to pull that off. That's pretty cool. But yeah, you can see that this coating on here, it has not stood the test of time. Which I heard before that was kind of an issue with these. That back in the day, I know the Vaporshark logo was coming off, but they got that on there a lot nicer now. And before, these guys didn't have a removable battery. Now they have removable batteries, and that's a plus. But you can see that everything's kind of revealing itself underneath those edges, all the plastic and stuff. So yeah, this thing, durability, probably not the best, but I don't know. It's kind of a beater mod for me anyway. I just kind of like to bang it out, you know. But I have tried to take care of it, but it has started to. And I've seen a few other people's DNA40, rDNAs or whatever. And yeah, they started looking pretty rough pretty quick. Just something to know going into it, folks. But yeah, this is the temperature sensing stuff. This is really all I got to tell you about it. It's cool. You don't get dry hits or any burnt hits. It doesn't burn cotton. It's a cool little system. It's just that this shit sucks donkey dick in my opinion. The nickel wire, I just don't like it. Maybe I need to be more patient, but I've probably done 15 builds with that shit, and I still know to this day I don't care for it. But yeah, cool little device, man. I absolutely love it. I use the shit out of it all the time. I'm usually using it with my billow. And I just do standard wire on here at 30 watts, and I'm happy. 0.53 ohm load. Everything's good. I need to fill this bitch back up with some nerds. I am running low. But yeah, folks, that's the fucking Vaporshark rDNA40. It's a pretty sweet device, and it's just got a couple of downfalls. Like I said, the finish, the wire that you have to use with it, but at the same time it's a regular mod, and I personally 40 regular watts, not temperature sensing watts, I can boogie with 40 watts, you know what I mean? And yeah, folks, that's all the shit I had to show you. At this point we can go ahead, back out, talk on it, vape on it. All right, folks, and we're back. We just took an up-close look at the DNA40, the temperature sensing, the coils, and all that stuff. Now, the question is, Twisted, how does it vape? And I got to say, folks, it vapes nice. Now, comparatively, 600 degrees Fahrenheit at 40 watts with this build is probably not as good as, let's say, you know, a standard build at 60 watts. Okay, it's not quite as powerful, but it's a very satisfying vape with really nice flavor. That's a big plus for it. Also, on a side note, I think I got my audio with this new wireless mic worked out. I don't know exactly because I'm still filming, but I think I'm in that sweet spot. We'll find out. Yeah, no, I like the vape. 40 watts at 600 degrees is nice. I'm enjoying the vape. I'm still getting plenty of flavor, great vapor output. Everything's pretty good, right? It works nice. It works nice. Like I said, it's just not quite as rowdy as other builds I usually do. I usually build anywhere from about 0.2 and up. 0.2 to 0.35 is my sweet spot on mechs with a dripper. If I'm building, I usually do about a 0.25 on a regulated, around 60, 70 watts. About 85, 90 watts is my limit as far as how I like to vape. But this is still a satisfying vape. And even with just a regular standard non-nickel wire build, 40 watts is pretty satisfying on this little guy. And as far as the mod goes, I like this mod. I like it. I like the smallness of it. The button placement, it feels good in the hand. The screen on the bottom is not a super big deal. At first I thought it was going to be weird because I was like, oh, why is the screen on the bottom? But after using it and adjusting it, it's not too shabby. It really isn't. Really like the device. I'll say the device is cool. And the cool thing is if you get the device, and then, you know, it's a 40 watter with the things, even if you don't use the nickel shit, as a 40 watt device, just using pretty much anything, it's still a really good device. Single 18650, pop it out, micro USB charging, wireless charging. It's got a lot going on. And the price, what was the price? The price is about $189 for this guy. So not too bad. Probably one of the cheaper DNA40 devices you can get your hand on. If you go for those Vapor Flask and all these other fucking high-end DNA devices, yeah, you're gonna spend a lot more than $189. So I would say at this moment, this is probably the cheapest way to get into a DNA40 device. Okay. The nickel wire, the temperature sensing. I fucking hate the nickel wire. Nickel wire pisses me off. I don't like using it. Maybe they'll come up with a new way to use the temperature sensing that you can use. I wish they could just use regular Kanthal, but they can't because it's not the same, I guess. I don't know. I just don't like nickel wire, people. I'm saying that. But I still will use it. I still play with it. Maybe I'll order some 28 gauge. I know it's going to take 50 more wraps to get to the desired ohm load, but 28 gauge might be easier to use than that 30. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I'll keep playing with it. Maybe update you guys on my DNA40 experiences. Time will tell. But it's a super cool chip, though. The whole no dry hits, no burn hits. You can vape cotton long after it's dry. That's a good thing. And I really like that aspect of it. Speaking of which, let's have a toke. I don't know if I showed you guys, but the button lights up blue when you press it. I might have missed that. But as far as standard wire, firing down to 0.16, that's a nice step in the right direction. Evolve, good stuff. Fires down to 0.1 with the nickel wire. Vape's nice. It's good stuff. I don't know. If you were looking for a technical DNA40 video, I gotta tell you, this ain't it. This ain't it. I'm not that guy. I will tell you, you know, I'm just letting you guys know my experiences. Those coils for the ProTank Nautilus are cool. They work really well. No dry hits, no burn hits. That's great. Flavor's been awesome with them. And they seem to last longer than regular coils. Maybe because they're not getting all gunked up as much as a traditional coil would. I don't know. And the coils in here seem to do pretty good too. The cotton seems to weather the storm quite nicely. Fucking 15 wrap dual coil. That's crazy. That's still, man. Yeah, the nickel, I don't know. The DNA40 is cool, but I think it's still got some growing to do, especially with all the issues Evolve was having with the chip. But it could be a thing. It could be a thing. I know it's supposed to be the new hype, the all new thing, and I think it's cool. I think it has its place, but I still think it has a ways to go before it becomes extremely practical and everybody's using it. You know what I mean? I like it though. It's cool. It works well. I guess I just hate the wire. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. But this device, the rDNA40 Vaporshark, I really like this motherfucker. It's nice. It's a cool little mod. And yeah, I've seen a lot of people buy them already. So I don't think they'll have an issue selling these things. The 189 is not too shabby. It's not too bad. It's still kind of up there. But yeah, I don't know. What are you going to do? Yeah, so I like the box. The DNA40 thing, I like the idea of it, but I don't like the implementation of the nickel. It's cool that they got those coils ready and stuff, and really that's all I got for you folks. This is my best way to try to explain all this super technical shit, temperatures and fucking degrees and fucking 0.1s and all this crazy shit. But I hope that this video was somewhat informal for somebody out there. I don't know. Hopefully, if nothing else, you know about the device and I like it. And the DNA40 is kind of in the air at the moment. One more token and we'll get out of here. I'll put links in the description to Vaporshark's website if you want to pick one of these up. Those coils, I'll put links to those as well. I'll put links to where I got my nickel wire on eBay if that'll help some people. Maybe they want to play with it and figure some stuff out. Other than that, I think we covered everything that I could possibly cover. And on that note, thank you for watching. I truly do appreciate it. Remember, it doesn't matter what you're vaping on, as long as you're not on the stinkies. Last but not least, you stay sexy, YouTube. Me and the nickel wire and the temperature sensing and the Vaporshark and all that shit are out.